So I want to talk to you about how to grow your team, and it is so important that you do grow your team. Business is a team sport. You cannot do everything on your own, and it's only once you grow a team that you can really be set free and that you can do the most high value thing that you're good at while being surrounded with high value people who do what they're good at. So it's really important that you grow a team, but you've got to grow it the same way that the British military grow their teams. So the British military have been doing this for 400 years, so we would expect that there's some interesting lessons to learn from them. So here's what I learned. The British military start with a two-person scout team. So a two-person scout team, their job is to go out and scout something, to figure something out. In entrepreneurship, we call this validating your idea. So you go out with you plus one other person to validate an idea. So let's say you got a business idea, you plus one other person, not you on your own, go out and look at, can we sell it and can we build it? Those are the two big questions. Can we sell something of value at a great price? Can we build something of value that people want to buy? So you're going out there and you're trying to conduct experiments. You might launch a waiting list, you might launch a little mini event, you might launch a white paper, you might do a discussion group, something like that that helps you to validate, are people interested in buying this thing? Every business that I've ever started, I started it with somebody else on the team. I've never been self-employed on my own. I've always had at least one other person that's working with me in that early stage of validating an idea. Okay, so now we've validated an idea, we want to run a launch campaign. And to run a launch campaign, you need a 4-person fire team. So a fire team is going to have a key person of influence who's going to be presenting the idea to the market. You're going to have a salesperson who's going to help book appointments and close sales. You're going to have a general purpose person or an executive assistant or general manager or admin person. And you're going to have an operator who's going to look after customers and make sure that they're really happy with what they were sold. So those are the 4 people that you're going to put on a team. Now those 4 people are going to run a launch campaign, and the launch campaign, the whole goal is to get lots of people engaging and then to make those initial sales. And you might do this every 90 days on a cycle when you're getting off the ground, and you're going to launch something and get enough sales to make sure that everything that you thought was true when you were validating is actually true when the rubber hits the road. A 4-person team can theoretically go on for year after year, but ideally you want to get to the next level, which is an 8-person team. So an 8-person team needs to have really solid revenue per person. So let's say you have $800,000 and 8 people on the team, you've got $100,000 revenue per person. That is where you kind of start seeing some stability. Now the goal with an 8-person team is to have a key person of influence who presents to market, to have sales and marketing people who generate leads, appointments, presentations, and sales, to have admin and financial control who run the business from an admin perspective and a finance perspective, and then to have an operator and an IT person. So an operator's job is to make sure customers get what they paid for, and an IT person is designed to automate everything and to build systems and assets. Now that little team of 8 people are going to work closely together in order to build out the business in a stable way. They're going to try and build a lifestyle business that has revenues and profits, and that has stability, and that increases the revenue per person. So we want to start out with maybe 100,000 per person, get it up to 110, 120. So maybe we have an 8-person team that does 800 grand, then it builds up to $1 million. And we want to make sure that we're able to build assets that improve that revenue per person with our 8-person team. Now along the way, you may end up with 2 salespeople, you may end up with 2 operators, you might end up with a couple of different IT people, and that's fine provided you stay below 12. So that little lifestyle business is going to top out at 12 people. After you get to 12 people, you need leaders and managers, and you need to split into teams of teams. And it's really quite difficult to go beyond 12 unless you're committed to going to 35. In the military, they call an 8-person team a section, and the next size team is called a platoon with about 30 or 35 people in it. Now for most business owners, I say think really, really carefully if you go past 12 people. Please, you are not going to have a lifestyle business for a long time if you go past 12 people. Once you go past 12, you're too big to be a small business, and you're too small to be a big business until you hit about 35 people. So there's going to be this thing called the desert, and the desert is going to be a really tough time where you're trying to solve all sorts of problems that come with growing up as a business. Now, most people don't need to solve those problems. Most people are very happy with a lifestyle business that's about fun, freedom, and flexibility. The downside is you really can't go past 12 people, or you shouldn't go past 12 people if you really want to protect that lifestyle. So you don't have to go beyond a section of 8 people. You can actually just keep it small. But if you're ready and you're committed and you want to build a much bigger business, let's talk about the next level up. So once we've got a successful lifestyle business, if you want to go beyond that, the next level up is a performance business with 35 people. You're going to need a 5-person leadership team, a CEO, CFO, COO, CTO, and CMO, typically are the 5 roles. And you probably also want to have a business coach or a chairperson who's going to help that leadership team to perform. Around the leadership team, you're going to have a sales and marketing team, you're going to have a customer success team, you're going to have a technology or product team. Maybe you'll have some territory teams, so you might open up in the US and Europe and Asia, and you'll actually have these teams of teams who report into the leadership team. So ultimately, you're building a much bigger business. This is where you're aiming for 7-figure profit. So you're looking at least $1 million a year worth of EBITDA profit so that you can be a performance business that's really going somewhere. You can attract funding, you can attract more talented people, and ultimately you can attract an exit for a life-changing amount of money. So what have we covered so far? 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8, 8 turns to 35 different people. And that is how you scale up your team. It sounds simple when you say it like that, but I'm sure you're going to run into some roadblocks. Make sure that you follow and subscribe to this channel where we cover all the different things that are involved in growing and scaling a business.